unhappiness. The subconscious mind plays a decisive role in every action that we perform. In every action you perform, you have decided something. It may come from a belief which you have carried. It may come from an action or a memory which you have had. It will come from some belief which you carry. And that is exactly how our day-to-day decisions are also made. It is not something what you consciously do. Very subconsciously, you get up in the morning and you start brushing your teeth because it has become a part of you. You go and have a bath because it has become a part of you. Do you really need to think or make major decisions on what is a routine, what we call? Not really. So therefore, if we understand that, it's 90% of our subconscious mind which has factored in and made it habits. It's not very difficult to change, but we cannot, as human beings, cannot accept change very easily. All of us. For example, if anybody who drives cars, about 2 years back, seat belts was something which nobody wanted to put on. But over a period of time, because the law enforced that we must put on seat belts, it became more of a compulsion, otherwise we would be fine. And today, just by default, over a period of few days, we started putting on seat belts or helmets if somebody who drives 2 wheelers. What has happened? We have formed a new mind or a belief or a new thought which has been plugged into our minds so that we function in the way to make it a new habit. Today, if you are not putting on a seatbelt, I have to say, first thing my hand will go, or that if it's on a 2-wheeler, it's a helmet. You will go by default and want to put on a seatbelt. So is it very difficult to change? No, not really. But all of us are not open to change. And therefore we find it very difficult if you have to change, even if somebody sitting in an office has been told to change from one place to another. It becomes difficult. No, I've just shifted, why I have to shift? Things like that. And not everybody is open to all that kind of change and accepting change. Therefore, what you really are doing is operating from the subconscious mind. In this diagram, what you see is all the impressions. When I say impressions, these are what we call the centers, and they play a very important part. How does it operate? Let's say how many of you over here like chocolates? And apart from somebody who is prohibited from having chocolates, if given no, I'm sure a lot of you, if I pass around a box of chocolates, would take a piece. Either you're neutral to it or you like it. Maybe not a general dislike to it. Very few would have a general dislike to it. From where are you operating then? If somebody who has a lot of likeness for ice creams, for sweets, I'll just say sweets. Where are you operating from? It's operating from a center within your subconscious mind. Somebody who hates dogs or cockroaches. Normally, insects is something what we cannot relate. If there's a cockroach or a lizard in your house, we'll run. Or a mouse. So what is it? There's a fear. Where is that fear coming from? That fear is coming from the center created in your subconscious mind, which is already existing. It's not new. You've been carrying it over your different lifetimes. And the more you start having more experiences with those centers, the more it is getting reinforced. So if you hate somebody and if you continue to meet that person on a daily basis, especially for people who work, we can relate. Bosses are somebody who you don't really like. And in today's times, our intolerance has gone up even higher. So therefore, we are always looking at, finding faults of what doesn't work for us. Where are we operating from? That center has been created in our subconscious mind. You have a liking for music. Where does that center operate from? From the subconscious mind. You find so many cases where children, they're born with certain talents within themselves. What is it that is come? Where have they got this? They have got these gifts right from when they were born, from the previous births. And they carry forward this, which is what we say, the mind and the soul. The soul is what is universal. And that is what gets carried forward into the next births of what we are living in. Therefore, if you have a strong response, somebody who hammers you every day, somebody who abuses you every day, what is happening? Or somebody who is very loving to you every day. I will give both sides of it. What happens? That center gets stronger. Either the dominant center which hates somebody, and if repeated actions are coming in, will continue to get stronger. Therefore, your vibrations toward that person are always going to be negative. Because it's coming from the center which has a negative base. If on the contrary, when you have somebody who's very loving to you, like friends, close relatives, who really care for you, the actual constant stimulus, the constant action, repeated action, when it is repeated back into your center, what it is doing is you're responding from that center. So therefore, the love for that person, the attachment for that person continues to grow. And therefore, your positivity within you also keeps on increasing towards that person. And that's where your center is either becoming negatively stronger for a purpose, or it is becoming positively stronger. So what is the choice you have to make? The choice is yours. Whether you really you hate that person is a negative vibe, because every negative center thought has energy. I'll give you an example. Close your eyes for a minute. Just calm your mind. If any of you believe in certain prayers, you can pray or chant. Think of a gulab jamun. Think you are eating the gulab jamun. Now slowly open your eyes. There is no physical gulab jamun here. But what happened to you? Your mouth was watering. So actually, what happened? What I'm trying to communicate here is even a word has a lot of energy. I only spoke to you the words. But even those words carried so much energy, you were able to visualize, you were able to feel. Somebody who really loves gulab jamuns will really feel that it's, you're missing it, you want it right now. That's how the power of the five senses are. We don't even realize that. That even a word, a small word, has so much energy. That's why when you say a bad word, that's carrying a negative energy. That's why we say speak good, don't speak bad. Because goodness always has good energy. So it's a choice which you exercise whether you want to give good energy in the universe or bad energy. It's a decision purely which remains with us. But we are unable to really practice it at a lot of stages because of the centers which continue to remain strong. For example, you take a decision, you really don't like somebody, or you want to give up something very badly. You want to work on that exercise. What you will do is, you will work at it for a few days very hard. No, I'm sure I'm not going, even if somebody keeps an ice cream in front of it, I'm going to make sure I will not have it. No? Few days it works well. But after that, what happens? It falls away. But if you continue to reinforce that decision which you have taken throughout the day, if anything comes in your way, no, I'm very clear, I don't want to have it. It can work wonders of whatever you may be practicing. Or whatever you want to achieve. It is not something which you cannot do it. Because if there is something which is negative and against which you put in a positive, what we say a suggestion or an auto-suggestion to yourself, or what we call a self-talk. Because the highest conversation, as I said earlier, is with yourself. So if you really start exercising this very consciously to your own self, you will see it's finally those small changes which make the big change. You can't expect transformation. but it's the daily small decisions which you will take on a regular basis. It can really make wonders and change small things.